Hello and welcome, my friends. Welcome to Friday. I don't know about you guys, but she's chilly outside where I'm from. Right now, we're looking at it being really cold. We had like a frost warning. I never really understand. Anyway, it's cold and I am enjoying my tea. So I hope that wherever you are, that you're finding some small joys, even if the weather is not really being helpful. I'm just really grateful that we haven't had the dreaded S word from where I am. I know there are places in Canada that have snow. It's September, guys. Come on. All right. So I hope that you guys are enjoying a good cup of tea or coffee this morning. Or if you're joining me later, any other beverage that seems to suit your need right then and there. So today we are going to be looking at the week to come. So we're looking at September 19th through the 25th. Lots coming in because as of Saturday, tomorrow, we're going to be able to enjoy that full moon energy starting to trickle in a bit for us. Well, the full moon comes in on the 20th. Then on the 21st, not only do we have that zodiac shift, we also have the fall equinox. That's why I'm not ready for snow yet. Nope. So we have the fall equinox. It's time to pull out. And yes, this is a pumpkin spice blend that I'm very much enjoying. And we need that time for fall, I think. I'd like to see those beautiful oranges and dark reds to come forward. So that happens on the 21st. Also on the 21st, and this is an important one, International Peace Day. I don't know about you, but I think some peace, some love, and harmony is very much needed. On another note, on the 21st, we also have Hobbit Day. For all my Tolkien fans and my literary fans, you'll know that it is Bilbo and Frodo Baggins' birthday. I do have spreads that I have created for International Peace Day and the Hobbits' Day, and that will be posted on my Instagram and on my website in my blog section. I'll have those spreads there for you to play with and enjoy. I like to create spreads. I just don't have enough time in the day to do live readings on all of them, especially as a number of them start to overlap, like International Peace Day and the Hobbit Day. However, fantastic opportunity for you guys to start to take in and play with your cards in a different way. So today we are going to do the weekly review, and the decks I've chosen, I have the Tarot de la Nuit, the Tarot of the Night. I find this is such a beautiful deck, and as our nights are getting longer, I couldn't resist to pull it out, adding that beauty and that shadow that's with us, and finding light within it. And then I've matched it and paired it with that amazing energy oracle. It's kind of a standard in the tarot reading world or oracle reading world, but I love it, and I think the pair of them are going to speak volumes together. So let's get into this. It's going to be quite the week. What can my friends expect from the week? Okay. Of September 19th to the 25th. I'm going to say that backwards. And on a funny note, yesterday I was making some appointments. And I kept saying January 25th. We're like, why would you want January? It's months from now. Yeah. It's a good day yesterday. Good week. Angel of Love. I know it's kind of hokey. And it was interesting when I was setting the table. I needed to bring this beautiful rose quartz heart. And I'm like, why? I don't usually put a lot of crystals here because I have a tendency to move my hand and I will drop, and I don't want to drop this. So maybe we move closer. And then as I was going forward, I had to pull this out as well. This is angel light. It's a small piece of angel light that a friend gave to me. I won't even say lifetimes ago. It too needed to be on the table. That angelic, unconditional love is going to be needed for self, especially for self and others. Archangel Raphael, 4th chakra, your heart chakra. Again, that love, that compassion, very much needed. Too often do we focus in on others and we forget about us and what's going to support us the most. Yesterday I did my full maybe some more tea will help. My full moon reading for the full harvest moon. And we talked about how we need to really be that person that is pushing ourselves forward. Part of that forward push is also ensuring that we're caring and nurturing ourselves. The stronger we feel physically, the more we're going to be able to work on our spiritual and emotional selves. It's just part of that hierarchy. And I'm sure I'm going to get roasted for this, but I believe it's called the Maslow's triangle of hierarchy. It's a sociological structure where it talks about how your physical needs are at the bottom of the triangle. So your shelter, your food, your physical well-being, and then you build up. And at the very top, at the steeple, you have that spiritual self. We need to build that up. We need to be making sure that we're nurturing and caring for ourselves, so we nurture and care for everyone around us. I know it sounds hokey, but it's important. If we feel exhausted, if we don't have the strength to get up in the morning, we don't have the food that's going to fuel our bodies and our minds, we're not going to make decisions that are in our greater good. We'll actually make decisions that slow us down and really impact our ability to move ourselves forward in a high vibrational way. And it will only fuel that stagnation, frustration, and pain. So, taking some time for us. Let's look at this. What can my friends expect from the beginning of the week? Now, at the beginning of the week, we have that full moon energy. And we can really embrace it. We can start to embrace it on Saturday because it comes in on the 20th. So we can start to embrace it Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So we've got a good chunk with it this week. And it's good. The temperance. That balance and that energy flow. Now, temperance is usually depicted as an angel. Pamela Coleman Smith drew her as an angel. But what's more, she wasn't just any angel. Actually, she wasn't an angel at all. She was the goddess Iris, the messenger goddess. Now, if you see, she's pouring energy onto this lotus. That lotus flower? Oh, good, it's in view. We have that beautiful ray of energy just filling her, and she's filling that lotus flower, which can also and has also been the symbol of your crown chakra. The beginning of the week, we have that amazing energy coming forward, and it can fill us. It can make us feel so much better, physically, mentally, and spiritually. Do we have to do anything different? Depends on your situation. My recommendation is to work with those chakras, because she's really pouring it into your crown chakra. So this 7th chakra that sits on the top of your head. An easy way to do that is through a meditation that I brought out in December of last year. It's just called a balance meditation in my Just You and Me playlist, where that's exactly what I did, is that I start to work with your chakras. We start to align them so that they are working more efficiently. So if you're going to feed one chakra, it just trickles down through the all 7. down to your bottom chakra, your first chakra, the root. Super helpful. Now, if you're new to my channel and aren't sure what I'm talking about, this meditation or this playlist, first of all, welcome. I am here to support and guide and help heal you. I have a number of tools for you to use. There's 4 playlists that are really important. I've got a mindfulness meditation playlist where we dabble with some mindfulness tools and meditation. And I have 3 other meditative playlists, including the Just You and Me playlist that I just talked about. They're all guided meditations, so you're able to focus in on my voice and a picture to gain the benefits of whatever the meditation's about. They're all around 30-ish minutes, except for one playlist that's just really, really short. It's called Short and Sweet. So short and sweet, perfect. But the rest of them are about 30 minutes long. And most importantly, it's all free for you guys. There's no strings attached. I don't ask for anything. I'm not monetized in any way. I'm too small. I'm just here to help. So that meditation would really help with that energy flow, helping with you feel stronger, helping you feel more able to do what it is you really want to do. Get that job done that you need to do to ensure those physical needs are met so that you can start to build off and build yourself up. We're not talking major leaps and bounds here. We're just talking about taking some care for self, making sure that we are balanced. So meditation will do that. Being mindful and really connecting into these energies will help with that centered and that calm within. And it's going to help us combat some of these other external energies that are all around us. Many of us have been dealing with lots of crazy weather and kind of global challenges between the fires, the floodings, some places are snowing. We've got lots of problems still with COVID. We've got lots of problems in Afghanistan. There's lots of stuff compounding all around us. Up here in Canada, we're dealing with elections, so there's all sorts of energies all around. But the more calm and centered we are within ourselves, the more we're able to stand proud and tall. And those energies aren't so impactful because we're grounded, we're centered, and we're large and in charge. So the beginning of the week, taking some time and really supporting you in, taking care and healing you. And for those who are new to my channel, I do have a number of meditations with the Archangels. It's this whole playlist. And of course, I have some phenomenal ones with Archangel Raphael, which is all about that global healing of self. All right, let's go into the middle of the week. What can my friends expect from the middle of the week? And I should mention that at the beginning, middle-ish part of the week, Tuesday to be exact, thank you for not throwing that on the floor. I will be releasing and posting a new meditation in my Archangel playlist, which is a collaboration with Archangel Michael regarding some cord cutting. So for those who aren't understanding what a cord is, we have energetical cords to people, places, animals, events, situations as we go through our journey here. Some of those cords, we give and receive energy, and it's really helpful and loving and nurturing. Other times we get kind of a siphon effect where it's just draining us. It's a meditation I've been working on for quite some time. I've written it and rewritten it a number of times because, I want to say probably about 3 months ago, I started working with Archangel Michael on it. And I'm like, we need to do this. And he's like, absolutely. And so we started working on it. And I was channeling what we needed to do, what we're going to try and get done. And it never seemed to be right. Oh, we got it right, baby. It's good. So that meditation will be posted Tuesday morning-ish sometime, depending on when I get my kiddos to school and when I can get on my computer. So we have that coming in too. And there is a component of healing, so that Archangel Raphael is really going to be supporting you with that as well. So it's going to be really exciting. Anybody who's done a lot of my meditations, I'd love feedback. Even if you haven't done a lot of my meditations, still love feedback. I like to hear from people, whether you liked it or not. If you didn't like it, let me know why. Words only help. Even hurtful words can help us learn. And that's part of why we're here. We like to take offense to it, but I don't take offense to it. I've had people write on different meditations. Oh, I didn't like this. Okay. It wasn't for you. I like to hear why you didn't like it. That's the trick. What was it? I can't change things. I can't shift things if I don't know. Love this card. And I love the fact on how they've drawn it. It's the Hermit. She be sassy. Oh, yeah. Such a beautiful card. Our guide into the darkness. And I love the fact she has that crow. So beautiful. The middle of the week, that understanding, that nurturing, and that care, it's going to help us go deeper. And a lot of times people don't like to do that. They don't like to get too deep because it gets scary. And oh my God, the fear. And our ego kicks off and that anxiety and it just swirls. It's a natural occurrence though. And it's not going to be scary because we're going to be looking at that love and that healing of self, which is going to only strengthen us, strengthen our understanding. We're going to have a lot more aha than we are fear, because it's not like, oh, I'm going to sit down and I'm going to reflect and I'm going to challenge myself. Well, that in itself spikes your ego. You're like, boom, turning on your ego and go. What we're looking at here, though, we're looking at that natural kind of cascade, if you will, because we are looking at that full moon. And yesterday in my full moon reading, we talked about really taking ownership and, well, being intentional with what it is we're doing. And that intention, that ownership, that presence, along with some energetic work where we're looking at working with our chakras. Like I said, that meditation, it's, I think, actually almost under 30 minutes. I think with introduction and conclusion, I think it's like 32 minutes or something. It will help us to really embrace that universal energy like we haven't before. We're aligning our chakras so they just work better. And for some people, it's the first time they may ever have done any energetical work. Fantastic. And if that's the case, I do have a playlist. There's only one video on it right now. There will be more. But it's called Healing 101. And I talk about that energetical healing. The Four of Swords. I love this rendition of this card. I love this deck. It's so pretty. So as we get into the middle of the week, that nurturing motherly energy is going to start to wane. We're into another zodiac. We need to be mindful that, yes, we're doing some work. We also need to rejuvenate us, taking that break. Yes, we want to be very mindful and intentional, but at the same time, guys, we need that balance. We can't just keep going. Whether it be our physical work that we need to do every day, whether it be taking care of others, we need to make sure that we're taking care of us. The middle of the week, we are going to need to be very intentional about this because we are going to feel like we are running on fumes. Taking some time, taking some breath, whether that be meditation, engaging in something that really makes you feel full and warm. Those creative endeavors, taking a bubble bath and reading a book, whatever really would make you feel good, helps to fill you, helps to share that love with you. This week, very much important. Are we still going to have these really external chaotic energies? Absolutely. However, we can start to combat that by calming us and loving us and sending that high vibrational energy kind of around us. It's similar to when we have a bad day and you go to work and you're like, oh, it's a bad day, don't talk to me, grr. People reflect that back at you. Same is true when we're in a high vibrational, good mood. Our energies are full, they're warm, and people are like, wow, you lost weight. You've done something new with your hair. You look great. Why? Our energies are just mirrored back to us. We push them out, and people are like, ooh, I'm going to reflect that back. Think of it as a mini karma situation. So we can really, well, if we're present, we can really see how our energies are impacting us and those around us. So taking a little bit of time to really nurture us will not only help us, but those around us as well, because they're going to feel calmer. They won't know why. You will. You'll know why. And if you really find that you're working in or living in a very busy environment, so anybody with kids will have this. Hands up, me too. Taking time to be mindful to calm your environment will be helpful. Ways that you can do that, if you don't have any allergies or asthma, you could smudge or use incense. I don't really like incense too much. I start to get really congested with it. I do like to use dragon's blood. And don't worry, there were no dragons harmed in receiving said blood. It's actually a resin of a tree. And it looks kind of reddish color, reddish brown, and it's kind of, it looks like sap, it really does. Anyway, you heat it, and you can also do the same thing. I find it works so much better. I know people who swear by dragon's blood incense, same thing. I also find that the dragon's blood does not have a marijuana scent, where sometimes a sage bundle might. So depending on where you live, depending on your laws and bylaws, that might be a better choice. That doesn't work, and you're like, I've got asthma, I can't do that. It's okay. You can use things like selenite. You can use black tourmaline. You can really start to take care of your energies. And one thing that is being very clearly told to me, and there it is. I keep hearing the word rose. There's roses in her hair here. But using that scent may help as well. And we can get that through essential oils. We can get that through fresh flowers. Whatever works for you. The important thing is bringing that calm in your space. Because as much as we nurture and calm us, if we live in a chaotic energy or a space that has lots of go, 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 bringing in that calm will not only help you, it will help those around you in your home center or workplace, depending on where you're going. And they're also just mentioning, I keep hearing shungite. Really, really helpful because it works with the EMTs. So it starts to take the EMTs out of the space you're in. Shungite is a black crystal that you can get most places. If you work around computers or with computers a lot, I would suggest having it around your technology. It will help not only calm you, but it will also help with any of that interference. So if you get glitchiness, I get a lot of glitchiness, and that can really impact computers and yourself. And especially as next Monday, so not here, but the following Monday, we're looking at Mercury retrograde. So then we're going to have all sorts of snap, crackle, and pop. So being mindful and planning forward. Let's go on to the end of the week. What can my friends expect from the end of the week? Reprieve. We need that Four of Swords because we're looking at Mercury retrograde coming in. The Five of Pentacles. Reminding us of how kind of off kilter we are feeling. The more we're starting to acknowledge and put words to how we're feeling and really focusing in on self, that's when we're going to start to be able to inadvertently take note and stock of what's happening. Like I said, once you start to build that pyramid, that triangle, we start to get into that spiritual base. The end of the week, we are going to be able to recognize, as we've been working with the Hermit here, how disconnected we're feeling. We may not have, and we may, depending on you, know how disconnected we are. And that might be a knowledge thing, but at the end of the week, it's going to be a heart center thing. We're really going to feel it. Important things for you to do: connect in. The disconnect you're feeling is more of a spiritual connection. However, if we start to connect into those positive physical supports at the end of the week, we're not going to feel, we'll be able to minimize some of that discomfort we're feeling. I know it sounds weird, but there is no easy fix to the disconnect that you're looking at spiritually. All right. That disconnect, again, goes back to that energy. We can work with our crown chakra to draw in that energy. We can work with and do some work with our high vibrational support team. I have meditations for them. I did last October. It's a series of 3 where you're connecting in with your high vibrational support team. It can help, but depending on how open your clairs are, so those connectors to the high vibrational energy, and how open you're feeling, you may or may not be able to get a lot out of those meditations. My suggestion: try. If it doesn't work, start to ground yourself in some love and support from those physical supports that you have around you. All right? Especially if you've been disconnecting yourself. And when I say that, if you partake in the meditation that I've done with Archangel Michael that comes out on Tuesday, where it's a cord cutting, we may start to feel like, oh, so I understand how much energy and how much I was giving out. But what am I missing? Because some of the connections that we want may be so minute and such a strand that we're not actually being able to acknowledge them yet. So taking that time and working with it. Like I said, I've got these meditations. You can try them as often as you need. I know next month, my direction, and I'm really excited about this, we're going to be doing some channeling. The 101 that I'm going to be bringing out at the beginning of October will be channeling 101. Let's start working with the thinning of the veil. I like to call it the training wheels to working with your intuitive self. So let's use it to our advantage, because let's be honest, any little bit of help, well, it helps. That support is there. So the end of the week, connecting into some positive supports. Be really mindful at the end of the week, though, guys. We're going to have that disconnection. We're going to have that isolation. We're going to have that need, or they're going to want to connect in with us. The individuals that have been siphoning our energy. I mentioned this in the meditation, but when we cut cords, individuals who were siphoning our energy, they're called energy vampires. They're the takers. They take. And their connection to us is one of, kind of think of it as a vacuum. They're sucking out your energy. Well, if you do that meditation, it may take them a couple of days, but they're going to figure out who has stopped giving them energy. No matter how long it's been since you've talked to them, that connection is there until you siphon it, until you cut it. So they can continue to siphon your energy without your knowledge. So be mindful after you've done that meditation where your thoughts are going. So if you're going back to situations that are hurtful, that are causing you pain, that can be your lower ego, your lower self, low vibrational self, trying to reconnect in and draw out your energies so you stay in that little box it's put you in. And also those people that they want to reconnect in with you because they want your energy. So be mindful where your energies are going. It goes back to that beginning of the week. we have that temperance. And some of you may really benefit from one day doing the meditation with Archangel Michael and myself with the cord cutting, and then the next day doing the meditation with your chakras to really align your chakras again and draw that energy through, because you have that ability, guys. We have lots of really great energies that are going to support you. This disconnect, it comes and goes, just like the Five of Pentacles comes and goes. Now, because it is the Five of Pentacles, it does talk about that disconnect, but it also reminds us, even though we're feeling disconnected, that importance of groundedness, that stability will go a long way in helping us reconnect. Even high vibrational people and teachers, if we've had a bad day when we're not feeling well, we get disconnected too. And there are times that I haven't been feeling well and I wanted to be disconnected. I know that sounds crazy, but I have worked with Archangel Raphael to go, okay, you need to turn me off because I don't want to hear and see this right now. I just need to focus in on me. And they can do that for you. Remember, you are in control. You have the ability to say, I no, time out, pause everything. I'm afraid, I don't feel comfortable. This is scaring me. When you start to use your words, they can start to come in and support us. So when you're working with that channeling energy, when you're working with your intuition, when you're working with your clairs, if you start to get scared, you start to get unsure of things, you have the ability to call in Archangel Michael to come in and vet the situation, protect you. You could ask that they shut things down or pause things for you so that you can take some breaths. Know that you're not alone. Know that you're not going to be just left out on a limb. Many of us shut down our abilities due to fear, whether it be something that we've seen, heard, or interacting with, or the fear of prosecution. So fear can really cause some challenges for us as we start to try and reconnect in. And we're going to be in a pretty good spot at the end of the week to start to take some of that on. All right, let's look at what challenges we're going to have besides fear. What challenge will my friends face at the beginning of the week? The Queen of Cups, the second most intuitive card in the deck. She talks about creativity. She talks about that intuitional and nurturing emotional energy. We're not going to want to do this. Our ego is going to be like, nurture us. You don't need to nurture you. You need to keep going. Keep working yourself to death. You're going to really struggle with those intuitive thoughts, that intuitive creativity, that intuitive energy altogether. That's really causing you problems at the beginning of the week. Take some time to ground yourself. Take some time to meditate. Clear yourself out. Really making sure that you're getting that energy in that crown chakra and letting it draw through. The Queen can easily be turned, especially if we are really channeling that energy and doing that through meditation and intention. All right, let's go to the middle of the week. What challenge will my friends face for the middle of the week? And I apologize, my dog still has sinus issues. Now it's cold outside. He has no nose, so very smushy nose. So anyway, he's really snoring, and he's just over there. I heard him snore, so I'm sure you guys did. Now we have the moon. The 18th card in the Major Arcana. This deck really brings in kind of a personal or being connection, whereas the moon's usually just a moon with a wolf and a dog. But this really connects into that nurturing feminine energy that the moon brings. There's a lot of fear and unknown with the moon, just as there's a lot of fear and unknown with that feminine energy. You're a woman, you know what I mean, because you know that you're misunderstood a lot. If you're a man, you probably know what I mean too, because women are terrifying. They bleed spontaneously. The moon, that cycle, right? We give birth. That's terrifying for everybody. Not a cakewalk. The end result is amazing. Yeah. So we're going to feel that energy start to wane as we get into the middle of the week, and it's going to be replaced with that fear. So if we are feeling that fear come in, again, we want to look at that grounded, stable energy. This is exactly when we can start to work on some of these meditations. And all my meditations have a grounding component at the end, unless they're a grounding meditation, then you're well grounded anyway. Because the more grounded we are, the more we're able to take on fear and the unknown. Okay? And if we are fearful, we can start to really take stock of that. Take that deep breath and go, okay, so what is it that I'm afraid of right now? We have the Hermit. We do have that ability to challenge self. Like I said, we don't need to, because we're going to naturally have that deeper connection with self. That doesn't mean we can't. It just means we don't need to. It just depends on how you're feeling and if that fear is really debilitating and really giving you some problems. Or if this shows up, the Eight of Swords. That sadness, that fear, that worry pens us in, and we feel like we can't do anything. If that's the case, then I would really recommend that cord cutting meditation and kind of pushing yourself forward a little bit. That cord cutting meditation will help nurture and give you some energy that you need and some healing that you need, which will really serve the Four of Swords really well. It will start to minimize and lessen the Eight of Swords, that heartache, pain, that fear, just a lot of those really, I don't want to say negative emotions, but low vibrational emotions that cause us stagnation. They literally, in the original card that Pamela Coleman Smith drew, she has 8 swords and the woman is all bound up and she's on this kind of craggy beach. She's the one who's bound herself up. There are no footsteps to her. There's no one around her. Just her and those swords. And the challenge and trick with the swords is that the sword is all about knowledge. And events and situations have occurred, and we as emotional beings have attached emotion to that event, situation, or person. We need to do that as emotional beings. If not, that's a whole other can of worms that we don't want to get into. But it's that emotion that causes stagnation. It can be debilitating and hard to get up. That's why that nurturing is going to be important, and why that cord cutting will minimize the Eight of Swords, because it's literally taking the connection away for a while. So the middle of the week, it's going to be our challenge. That fear, that heartache. All right, let's go on to the end of the week. What can my friends expect from the end of the week? What challenge will they face? Oh, I love this card. So certain decks, and it just depends on the creator, have deck-specific cards. This is called Angel de la Nuit, the angel of the night. And what this card talks about is going from the darkness to the light. We're going to be resisting that. We're going to feel disconnected. That fear is still going to be there. We're not sure how to go forward. We're going to want to stay stagnant and stuck. Missing the opportunities. Missing that love for self, that growth that this week offers you. This is why this card came with it. The Four of Cups. That Holy Grail. We're missing it altogether. We get stuck in that resistance, in that fear, and we'll miss that Holy Grail. You can't see it in this card, as pretty as it is. With the Four of Cups in the original card, there's a man sitting under a tree, and he's looking at these 3 cups in front of him. He's worked hard for those 3 cups, but he's like, is that it? Really? It is? Beside him in the air, you see a hand coming out of these clouds holding a cup, the Holy Grail. It's connected into the Ace of Cups because the same pictorial is on the Ace of Cups. That Holy Grail, what it is we need to be doing right now. That fear, that resistance, that pain will stop us. It doesn't help that we already feel really disconnected and unsure. But we need to be really starting to work on it. Like I said, that disconnection happens, and some of us call it in. But we need that reconnection, that healthy, positive reconnection with our physical support team and our spiritual support team. Now we have the Four of Cups and the Four of Swords. In angel messages, when you have that multiple 4, the angels are telling you to start to focus in on your grounding and your stability. Back to that triangle. All right. What further support, wisdom, and guidance can we share with my friends for the week of September 19th through the 25th? It's the last full week of September, which is really crazy. Door to Spirit. That Holy Grail. Yes, many of us are going to feel disconnected and unsure about that support from the spiritual, the high vibrational. The more we start to work on self, love self, we start to raise our vibration. So that distance between the high vibrational and ourselves starts to lessen. It becomes easier for us to receive the messages. We become more aware and attuned to that energy influx, that surge, that shift. We're able to start to pick up those messages a lot clearer. I love it. Archangel Ariel, your second chakra. That's your sacral chakra. And that's kind of right in your pelvic area, which deals with, going back to that feminine cycle, the feminine sexuality, sensuality, and that passion. Now, this, if you've been around with me for a while, when I pull out this deck, anytime I get some of the archangels, I really struggle with what chakra they were connected with, other than Archangel Raphael. Because Archangel Ariel, she works with the animals. She's a grounded, stable energy. Now, we're going to need both, but I don't usually connect her with my sacral. And when she comes in, I don't feel any different in my sacral. It's usually my root or my soul star chakra. So, yeah. I have a meditation that's a grounding meditation with Archangel Ariel that can support you with that stability throughout the week. If you have pets, like myself, I've worked with her a lot around my dog and his snoring because he's got that smushy nose. And she can help with that healing. She can help animals pass on to the Rainbow Bridge. She's an amazing archangel. Very nurturing, very caring. Of course, that sacral, we're looking at that passion. That passion and kind of connection in to what it is we're doing. Many of us have felt so kind of disjointed from what we're doing and who it is we are. This week is trying to reconnect us in, helping us to connect some of the dots and create that path and that map forward. Just because we need another one? Oh, come on. It's the 5th chakra, Archangel Gabriel. This one I also agree with. That's your throat chakra, your 5th chakra. And Archangel Gabriel is the messenger archangel. We've all heard about, well, I always have Archangel Gabriel comes in very feminine for me. There is no right or wrong on gender. Just because they're energetical beings, they don't have very physical forms. They do take on physical forms, and it can vary. But Archangel Gabriel for me comes in feminine, and I know for some comes in masculine for others. But Archangel Gabriel is very well known for that message and that guidance. Our throat chakra deals with communication and listening, using our mouth, our words, and using our ears. And we're going to need to strengthen that as we go into next week or the following week as we get into Mercury retrograde. On the good side, last Mercury retrograde of 2021. I want to thank you guys so much for joining me today. I hope that this helped to give you some aha into what you can expect next week. And like I said, next week I will be publishing my meditation with Archangel Michael. And it is a bit of a different meditation, so I'm really excited and would love feedback, like I said. Also on Wednesday, on the 21st, I will be doing my zodiac reading. So it'll be another live session. Friday, of course, another live session for the week ahead. So lots going on, lots of excitement. And I want to thank you guys. If you did like this video, give it a thumbs up. It does help people find me on the sea of YouTube because it's a vast sea. And if you did like this video, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, because depending on when the full moons are, when things are occurring, I am often on the online a lot. That way you're not going to miss any of the new meditations that come up, any of the live readings, because you'll get pinged that I was online, and you don't miss anything. And it's free. I'm all about the free and the fun. So I can't wait to see you next week. Until tomorrow, my friends.